Voice, your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to shop talk with your girl, because right here, oh, we keeps it real. People like us. What about you? I do anything you want to make your girl say, ooh, ooh. So
Hey, hey. I had to do a little bit of Usher to bring it up. Good morning, good morning, good morning to my lovely people. How are you?
Good morning.
Everybody all right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're just nodding your head. I can't hear you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
There we go. Oh, I'm still playing music. Crazy. Sorry, y'all. There we go. Let's try it one more time. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's new?
The whole year. The whole damn year, y'all.
I was gonna say the new year.
The whole year. Let me get ready, because I don't know what we got going on. Cheers. Look, Nyk. We don't know what's gonna go.
I promise I'll be good.
What you say? You promise you're gonna be good? Are you sure?
I'm gonna be good. I'm telling you, the petty in me. I already started this morning. The petty in me been trying to break out, but that little angel on my shoulder been working up a sweat trying to keep me in line.
Good, very good. Very good. Happy Saturday to my lovely people. Happy New Year. I haven't seen you guys in like forever. And I told you, I warned y'all. I told y'all well before the Christmas that I didn't want to be having Christmas gifts under my tree after Christmas, after New Year.
I know. I gotta come.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you, just a little bit, just a little bit. Like I still got them though. I'm getting ready to take that tree down though.
I know I gotta take mine down.
Okay.
I'm gonna just unplug it and put the whole thing back in the closet, decorations and all.
You just gonna take it down and put it in the closet?
That's
crazy. Look, hey, listen, I ain't even gonna lie to you, because you know what I used to do with my Christmas tree? I used to put it up in the attic, standing up, decorate it all. Like that's how bad it got after. I was like, last year I was like, okay, they're older, here, just take the tree up like that, because I don't want to go putting it together and decorating. But this year I had to.
I haven't had a tree up in 3 years, and I was like, dang, I gotta decorate my tree and everything. I went over my closet, I said, oh, it's still decorated. Picked it up, put it on my little stand right in front of my window. And then when I unplug it, I'm gonna put it back in that closet the same way I took it out of there.
Now
Easy.
let's get this party started. I asked what's new. What did you cook for New Year's? Go, Nyk, you first, and then we'll go to Roogle. Did you cook the traditional?
She said Nathan.
Nada.
Nothing.
Didn't cook a damn thing.
No, I didn't. That was a new tradition for me. I didn't do nothing this year. I didn't cook nothing. I had bought pizza for New Year's Eve.
What pizza?
And that's what I had yesterday.
What pizza did you buy?
Of course, Bellaria's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Bellaria was open on New Year's Eve?
Until 10.
Well, the Chinese people was open on New Year's Eve, on Christmas Eve. Remember I was telling you they sitting there not open on Christmas.
They was open.
Shows ago. And then I took your advice, Roogle. I went the day before Christmas so that I can have my shrimp fried rice. Because see, I don't fool with none of that other stuff.
Well, I'm glad you did that.
Shrimp fried rice. Now, some of y'all like the beef and some of y'all like the chicken. But I told y'all, when I had a cat, and the cat used to eat everything. The cat walked away from the sweet and sour chicken, so did I. I said, hold up. Hold up. See, I wasn't the only one that had Chinese food on Christmas either. Shout out to you, Janet. I see you, girl. Y'all keep coming on. I see you. Uh-oh, look at that. See, I'm gonna have to go, but I'm nervous about some of that Chinese food. Listen, we're the thing. I'm late on it, but I just say it. The views of Mel is not the views of the co-host on Shop Talk with Mel. If your cat don't eat it, don't eat it. But I think I'm safe with the I think I'm safe with the shrimp fried rice stuff. But Roogle, what did you cook for New Year's?
I cooked for both holidays, but for New Year's, I did want to. We had a small family gathering, social distancing, masks, all that other stuff, right? So certain people brought different things, and so I was like, well, what's left? They was like, well, ain't nobody doing the black eyed peas. I was like, what? I'll hop on.
The black eyed peas is for money, right?
Yeah, okay. I guess one of the money or prosperity. I thought the greens was, I don't know. Either way,
okay. Well, we're gonna find out. We'll find out before the end of the show. But go ahead.
But I hooked up some black eyed peas. I hooked up some greens. I did a little bit of sauerkraut, like one sauerkraut dish with the beef kibasi or whatever. And then I did, like, for myself, I did a couple Texas style ribs. I just put in the oven or whatever. I didn't grill it, but I did want to grill though. But I was like, I can't do it. I ain't got that to do right now. But something else too. What else did I make?
It's greens, black eyed peas. See, I don't remember greens too much. I remember the black eyed peas, the pork,
rice.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounds like fertility. Rice, because that's a lot of it.
My wife made some Nigerian food. It included like a white rice, and then she made sauce with some of those some meats and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
So we're coming from Nigeria. Do they do the same tradition that we do here?
Yes. I mean, kind of. They're really, what she explained to me is like, no matter where you are, you got to be in church at midnight.
Good and that's true.
Like, there's like, hey, you can come from the bar, but then you go to there and then you leave, you go back. But you gotta do the church thing. Which I'm not against that. I'm pro that. But it was funny because the church that I belonged to, we would do Christmas Eve, but we wouldn't do New Year's.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't like a midnight mass or any of that kind of stuff. So.
See, we were always bringing the New Year in church, but with this COVID, we didn't. Chrissy said sauerkraut. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I had sauerkraut.
You had sauerkraut though, right?
Yeah.
Was it sour?
Yeah, it was the sours, yo.
Okay, because sometimes it don't be.
I get nothing. I got my sauerkraut dealer. I go in there,
Oh, you check it out. You check it out, your sauerkraut dealer.
Yeah, like,
it don't be shredded cabbage.
Yeah. So yeah. But and actually, I had a, and I feel bad about saying this. You can buy it in the bag, and then you have the can. I had a can that had been up there for a minute. And I used.
Oh, it's good and sour if it's been up there for a minute.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got the extra.
You don't put a little bit of brown sugar in it?
Brown sugar and sauerkraut?
I've heard of that.
Just a little bit.
Cut it. Like just like it's kind of like putting like sugar in your tomato sauce.
No.
Like you just put some in there just to cut it. I
sweet spaghetti.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
But I've heard of that though. Because if I make like a red sauce, like sometimes I will put confectioner, like powdered sugar in there, like a little bit of that. I don't know why, because I think it just breaks down a little bit better, whatever. But
okay, Julianne from South Carolina said that the rice is called Hoppin' John. That's what they make Hoppin' John for New Year's.
Okay.
So everybody know about the like brown sugar. I got the listening audience like, yes, I don't know nothing about the brown sugar, but I want to talk about this here dressing. We were going back.
Oh yeah, I made dressing. That's what I made.
For the show. Now, dressing or stuffing?
Oh,
Dressing.
okay. Oh, go ahead.
You said dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what's the difference?
Well, I think there's. I mean, I think it's what you do with it, but I think there's two schools of thought. That you have cornbread versus like breadcrumb or
breadcrumbs, stuffing, cornbread, dressing.
There you go.
Okay.
That
I'm a cornbread person.
Okay, so you get down with the get down.
I get down with the get down. I'm a cornbread dressing person. That's how I make it anyway.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. A big old pan of cornbread. Then you crumble that stuff up. You got to make sure you put your seasonings in there too. You know, you got to have your thyme, your sage. That's what turns it a little bit like the greenish color, just a little bit.
Yeah, we had that discussion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we sure did. Not that green, but you know.
I don't know. I got techniques, but I can't give it away because they like my own secret recipes.
Oh, listen, I got something to add to real quick before you go, because we're gonna talk about the deviled eggs as well. I need to know, when you say you were social distancing, you had a small family gathering, y'all had masks and the social distancing in the small gathering, but everybody brought something.
Yeah.
So why? Like, if everybody brought something, you eating it anyway. I'm sure they didn't have a mask. I'm sure they wasn't social distancing when they was making this stuff.
Well, I mean, how you gonna social distance from the pot?
That's what I'm saying. So if they bringing the food over there, you eating the macaroni, you eating it.
But that argument would be the same thing. First of all, like I would say two things here. Like if there was really meat to that argument, like there would be like no restaurants able to serve people.
It shouldn't be. Do you remember that one time where the lady, somebody passed away and somebody brought a pan? You know, my condolences for those who have lost someone, but I'm just gonna share this information. Somebody brought a pan of macaroni and cheese over, and everybody in the house ended up getting the COVID. And they tried to contribute that. Oh, this was at the beginning. They because remember they said it could be on an object up to 72 hours. They didn't know. But I'm not, you breathing all up on the stuff, and you bring a pan of macaroni and cheese. I'm not trying to tell y'all not to eat. People bring stuff over, bucket of chicken or whatever. I feel the same way with the fast food. You go there, you like, well, what if they have COVID and they done breathed all up on my stuff? Like, what the heck? Breathed all over my fry, and now I'm eating the fry.
Well, I think the other thing though is too temperature. You gotta make sure stuff is at the proper temperature to be.
Oh, served. So don't touch it after it hit a certain degrees.
It kills off bacteria and germs and stuff if you have it at a certain degree. I
can't remember exactly. We talked about it. They brought the pan. We talked about it months ago. Yeah. And they brought the macaroni and cheese over. And they had to go back to that. That's what everybody had eaten. And that particular lady, she was positive.
But maybe just up in there, talking and hugging people. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Or she dropped it off because of COVID. Just here you go. You just bringing some food over, and I'm sure she
dropped off the macaroni. Somebody else might have had it. I don't know.
Maybe she dropped on it.
This was back in June. This is back in the summer. We talked about it. Chris said that dressing is in a pan and stuffing is in the bird. That's a guy.
I would agree with that.
Would you? Because you stuffed the bird? Like,
you stuff it, but like I don't put. A long time ago,
I stuffed the bird with the dressing.
Exactly.
But I was always told that like you shouldn't do that because that was giving people salmonella because it wasn't cooking all the way through.
Well, okay, but you gotta.
I never personally.
Don't you put the cooked stuff in? You don't put. I do things differently because I don't like my food to touch. So of course, when I cook things,
it was with the turkey.
Pots.
It was with the turkey not getting to the core temperature it needed to get to that was causing the issue. But if let's say if I do dressing and I want to have like the meat like right in it, it's usually like parts that I've already kind of like cooked or whatever, and then embed it, finish it through, you know.
So you don't cook the dressing all the way and then stuff it. You just have it raw.
I mean, like for my technique, I got my techniques I can't really release to the world. Because,
that's right.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't really put my techniques out there. But I think the thing is it was something to do about a cross contamination because people, well, not even a cross contamination. They wasn't cooking the turkey all the way through. Some people was eating some bloody ass turkey, I guess. But
Yo, turkey is raw.
That's because they don't know how to cook.
Well,
yeah, I cook the turkey by itself, the dressing by itself, and then put it together. It'd be a lot of dishes, but
we'll see. The thing is, sometimes people like there was a point in my life where I would cook the turkey and then cook it done and then make my dressing last because I would use the drippings from the turkey.
Okay, right.
I mean, but you can work around that, if you want, it's different ways. Can't go into all my secrets here.
Okay.
But,
okay. Tell me this. You brought up a grand idea as far as like hors d'oeuvres for like a holiday, just have all hors d'oeuvres. So when we were talking about that, you were talking about it's a difference between, first of all, you said dressing and stuffing.
Yep.
And you said potato salad.
It's potato salad. Yeah.
And we talked about the deviled eggs, which I didn't know that when we talk about the potato salad, I didn't know that paprika turns potato salad yellow.
Mm-hmm. Not real yellow, like mustard, but it does turn it yellow.
And you said you don't use mustard in your potato salad, so it's just white.
Not anymore. No.
Well,
I don't use mustard in there anymore. If I used to just put a little bit in there just to color it. I just color mine with paprika. I make sure when I put salt and pepper in there, put enough paprika in there, stir it up. And then when I put my eggs on top, my little egg, halves on top, little cut eggs, and I just sprinkle a little bit more on there.
Now, go ahead. What you got to say? Go ahead. Go ahead, chef.
Might as well have a yellow tint, but it has nothing to do with putting anything extra in there. It's just a technique that I do in the beginning.
Oh, his technique, Nick.
My secret techniques, y'all. Y'all don't be needing to know all that.
Secret techniques turning yellow. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. What's
come on, man. Come on now. Come on.
Now you said you use Chrissy said that the turkey spoils faster because of the ingredients in the dressing. To talk about that, because I definitely like to include the listening audience. I love the listening audience. Y'all keep on listening.
My turkey don't stay around long enough to get spoiled.
I heard that. Now wait a minute. So potato salad. All right, chef. Listen, potato salad. You said you put your secret ingredient that gives it
no technique
of yellow.
Oh, his secret technique.
Because the thing is, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna tell you this. It's like that. Like you ever see, like you'd be like, well, if you looked at potato salad, ones with mustard versus ones with mayonnaise, like what do you see as like some of the main differences? To me, sometimes mustard looks a little bit drier to me.
In potato salad?
If it's a mustard potato salad, look, it seems drier to me, right? But the issue is like what makes the mayonnaise based one yellow, right?
Okay.
It's the yolks.
Oh, it's the yolks. Okay. But I thought you put those on top and then you put the paprika on top of that.
So you cut eggs up with the egg and the yolk in the potato salad and mix it up too.
Oh, I guess you do.
Yeah, and then you can have that thing over the top like that, but that ain't really my thing because like some people like egg. So I might not get a little bit of egg because I wasn't first to the thing. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be first. Because I got a problem with touching the spoon. I don't know people's hands, and that's why I don't do like buffets. touching the spoon next to the next person. Ooh. Go ahead, Nick.
We'll talk about, I was going to say, we'll speak on the buffet next, because I just went to one and I was very impressed.
Okay, all right. Go.
I was surprised. Like, I didn't even know buffets were open.
Because of the COVID, right? But let me tell you my secret. My secret ingredient, I don't have a problem with the secret technique I use. I do half Miracle Whip and half ranch.
Okay.
They be like, oh, it tastes so good. What is that? They can't find out what it is. But I done just told y'all. The ranch, little small bottle of ranch, stir it up. They think I'm cold. I just learned all this stuff.
Okay.
You know, that's funny because I'm a dill person. But you know, I was because I would
a dill person. Oh, with the dill relish.
Well, dill relish, but then there's also dill, the actual.
You
talk about the seasoning dill. Okay.
Yeah, you know. But the thing is, when you said that with the ranch, I was thinking like, I wonder if she would do powder versus the actual squish.
Well, see, I'm not a real cook, so I ain't know nothing about the powder. But the I just got the bottle, just like I
got the big thing of powder.
Small bottle of Miracle Whip, small bottle of ranch. Stir it up. It's thebomb.com.
That powder.
And I do a little bit of mustard because it gives you a little bit of spice. Well, it's supposed to be yellow, so I'm a visual person. Y'all already know that. And if it don't look right, I'll be like, something's missing.
Yeah, but that powder, you should incorporate that in your life. It'll change your life. Because I was doing.
But what are you, salty?
Not I mean, it's always sodium in these products, but it's going to be sodium in the.
Okay. Your sodium level should be 135 to 145. I just had to say it, but go ahead.
But what I was gonna say was like, it's like when you get the ranch powder, it becomes so dynamic. Like I would do a thing, I would put like chili powder and ranch powder and on my popcorn. Bomb.
With chili powder?
Bomb.
Chili powder and ranch powder on your popcorn?
On my popcorn. Little light butter on there. It's telling you.
Well, I guess if you can eat chili Fritos, you can eat chili popcorn.
But it will change. And I'm telling you, with it's like little zesty Southwest kind of thing. Man, I'm telling you, yo. Movie night will never be the same. Trust the movie guy on the popcorn tip, yo.
Okay, all right. I know you got the tips. You know exactly what it is. What do you got, Roogle? I want you to look up, if you can, find what Black Eyed Peas is. You know, I think is that money? You said prosperity?
I think it is prosperity.
Look up the foods that we should eat on New Year's and why.
My mom,
one of those is fertility, like a whole bunch, and I think it might be that rice.
That rice. My mom used to every year. She was big on the sauerkraut.
What's the pork for?
What?
What's the pork for?
Are we done with Black Eyed Peas? Because I didn't check up.
No, I want you to check all of those.
Okay.
To see.
I can't remember what the pork is for.
Wait a minute.
In the southern United States, eating Black Eyed Peas or Hoppin' Johns, a traditional soul food,
like she said,
New Year's Day is thought to bring prosperity in the new year.
Prosperity, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to do pork, right?
Yeah.
I think pork for the new year. Let's see. Pork. Speaking of pork, pigs have long been considered lucky. Pigs can bring a rich fat. Yeah.
Luck. That's it. I couldn't quite remember what that one was for, but I know. Did you know that salt pork? If you have a boil, salt pork is good for you.
To eat or to put on the boil?
To put on the boil. If you go to a head, there's some tight panties. If you got a boil on your butt or something like that, you put that salt pork back there, whoop, it draws it out. I believe it's the salt though.
Probably the salt.
Old remedy.
Okay, collard greens and cabbage are supposed to be good luck.
Okay, good luck too.
Like
okay.
Even pork is considered prosperity. Like they don't really say like wealth or whatever, just prosperity, whatever that is. You know, that's that catch-all. You know?
Now see, Noel gonna say, yeah, it's lucky heart attack. See what
leave it up.
See what I'm saying? When they don't eat pork no more, they like, yeah, you gonna get it. They want to start judging your plate. You know what I'm saying? They go on a diet. They want to start judging your plate.
You gotta die anyway. No one makes it out alive. No one makes it out alive. Not even.
Hey, Noel. Roogle said nobody makes it out alive.
Tell her we love her with her crazy self.
You gotta pick you know.
No one makes it out of this life alive. Eat what you will. No, listen, I did not tell you. Do what is best for you, but it is hilarious how people, they want change. You want to do, you know what I mean? New Year's resolutions, they are good. You want to do well for yourself, that's fine, but I'm gonna need for you not to be looking what's on my plate. You look and see what's on your plate. That's what you choose to eat. Go ahead and eat it. Don't worry about what's on my plate. How about that when you go to dinner and people judge what's on your plate or what you want to order? They be like, you gonna eat that?
Yeah.
Nobody asked you to eat that. What you eating? Like, come on. Go ahead, Roogle.
So according to triplife.com, the New Year's Day meal popular in Western Pennsylvania came from the Pennsylvania Dutch, who brought the dramatic tradition of eating pork and sauerkraut with them to America. The cabbage used in sauerkraut can be symbolic of money, prosperity, and long life. So we may be more prone to that because of our area, which is also a funny thing. Because I talk to some people, if you ever talk to anyone who isn't from this area about cookie tables
or Sweetest Day, yep.
Like other people don't really have cookie tables. Like that's like a thing that's like a regional thing.
Yeah. With the Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohioans or Ohioans or whatever, however you want to say it.
That's how it was when we were in California for Sweetest Day. But I learned, you know what Sweetest Day came from, right?
No.
Everybody tell her it's a Hallmark holiday. I don't know.
No, Sweetest Day is only down here. When we moved to California, my current husband, now he said they don't celebrate. He's like, we're in California, we're on the West Coast. They don't celebrate Sweetest Day. I said, well, both of us are from the East Coast, so yes, we do. Okay. And it came from a homeless guy. And what they would do, they would give treats to the homeless.
Oh.
So that's where it started from. Matter of fact, Cleveland, Ohio. Y'all check into that. Check into that. Cleveland, Ohio is where it started. It derived from, and it's like, okay, you give this. Now I feel like, don't give me nothing. I'm not homeless. I'm blessed right now.
Right. And see, folks be having it all crazy because Sweetest Day is for the men. Valentine's Day is for women.
Yeah,
women. Sweetest Day is for the men.
We change the narrative all the time. But so next year, if you know what it's actually from, you're probably looking it up right now. If you know where it derived from, I think that we should give to the homeless.
Yes.
Like if you see them, just go ahead and just drop them some chocolate. Go ahead.
Because this is what this is saying from corporate Hallmark.com. So
I'm not listening to Hallmark because they don't know. They probably took it.
But listen,
on the money.
This is what they said. They said a legend has it that Sweetest Day was established around 1922 by Herbert Birch Kingston, a Cleveland, Ohio candy company employee who wanted to bring happiness to the lives of those who are often forgotten. So
it's okay, Hallmark. I take it back. Look, they're saying where it come from. Okay, go ahead.
No, but I'm saying the tie-in though is it might. I mean, because they don't really say. He said the ones that were often forgotten. So when you talk about like homeless people or people who don't have contact with people, I can see that. And so they turned it into like somehow it got turned into a pseudo Valentine's Day when his thing is like reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place if you can.
Right. Right. So,
all right, Diana Ross.
So that's what we need to do. Right. I want to raise my hand, but it's hot in here. I might have wet armpits. I'm like, I was getting ready to do the wave, but I don't know what I might have.
They'll be making memes about you, huh?
Right, because the lights, the studio lights are like beaming down. I ain't got that to do.
I miss being in the studio. I hate this pandemic.
I miss you guys being here. I miss you guys being here too, because it's like we used to kick it. We had drinks.
Heck shit.
Now I got this kind of drink. But we gonna do what we gotta do. New Year's resolution. Do you have one? What's new, Roogle? Do you have a New Year's resolution?
You know what? I got like the same continuous one.
Why 2020 didn't count? Like you ain't get to do it?
No, I mean, like I did what I had to do, but you know, just to keep on progressing above that. And then there's some other like professional goals, I think.
Okay.
But I know, but it's kind of hard to kind of like sometimes the goal I have is contingent upon them wanting me to do it. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of like tough to be able to say, oh, that's a goal when it's like my locus of control is limited on it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Go ahead, Nyk. What's new? Do you have one?
Nope. This is the first year I didn't have no, because every year
we were sitting down anyway?
Huh?
Do you think it's because we were sitting down anyway, so like we weren't allowed out?
That, and every year everybody, talk about my New Year resolution is to do this, do that, and then a couple months down the line you fall in the same rut. I'm not doing that anymore.
But
if it's meant for it to happen, it's gonna happen. My New Year's resolution, and that's not even New Year's, my everyday resolution to just for me to continue to put my trust in the Lord. And that's where all my help comes from.
All right. Well, amen. Chrissy said that hers is to learn how to really meditate. Because we had time to sit down, but we know life can be a distraction. We're grateful for life, but just living life can be a distraction. And that's what's happening, years prior. That is what has happened years prior. You'd be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'll set time aside, but you never have time for you. You never have time for you to do what it is that you say you're going to do because you're so busy. But right now, we had a whole, 8 months?
Listen, more than 8 months, because basically we got put under quarantine in March. And it really didn't stop because we went from the quarantine to they let us out, but we had a curfew and we still on a curfew. So it's like life isn't what it was this time last year. It's different. And then even with this time last year and even summertime, even months prior, before we even knew what was going on, we were going through this transition. A lot of people were sick, didn't know what it was. They couldn't pinpoint what it was. And now we know what that was, because my cousin's husband was very sick. He almost lost his life August of 2019. They were thinking that it was pneumonia. We now know. Right. Now we know what it was. Thank God he made it through, but he was in the hospital for 30 days, like life support and everything. But it's just like the life that we knew before, we're no longer living now. We're going to have to get used to this new norm.
Okay. Celeste and Juliana said amen to your New Year's resolution.
Oh, yes, y'all. Thank you.
Now they have, I looked and saw where they have 5. I think it's 5 top New Year's resolutions. We had time to look and see since the show was on the 2nd and not before.
Right.
The 5 top New Year's resolution according to housekeeping. Okay. They say make your resolutions achievable. They want you to make them achievable, and you definitely have to do that. Okay. The first one is build a better budget. Build a better budget. Another one, can you believe this one is good though? Since we're all locked down, cook one new thing weekly.
I can get with that.
That ain't fun, right?
Yeah.
What else we have? Create a cleaning schedule. Well, I think if we was already in the house, everything should be clean and spotless. Like you don't have nothing else to do. But
exactly.
Create a cleaning schedule. Now, what I did with my children when they were a lot younger, I had certain days for certain things. And once they were able to read, here you go. And I made copies and put it on the door so that they can remember. This is your wash day. So they would sort their clothes. Because let me tell you something. As long as they know their colors, they are never too young to clean about themselves. And if I was that parent, if they peed in the bed, it only took one time. Because whatever time, you're not going to pee and saturate your mattress and then go come climb in the bed with me. No, that's not gonna happen at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not gonna happen. So guess what? Go ahead and pee in your bed. One time, I think Malik was like 4. He was 4. Go ahead and strip them off. Come on, we up. You know I've been a midnighter forever. Let's go wash them. Listen, Court, all she had to do was see that. Like, what's going on at 2 o'clock in the morning? Oh, he washing clothes. And now we're gonna make your bed. And guess what? Boom. There you go. Done. It's done. One time he was 4 years old. Never again. 40 like, I am not participating in that. Okay. So listen, there is no age. And anybody that know me, they know their colors. Let's sort them. Let's do it together. This is what we're gonna do. Teachable moment. Also drink less. So I guess more people were drinking in 2020.
I don't know.
See, I'm not a drinker. Now, we'll drink some wine periodically, but I'm not a drinker.
I slowed my drinking down towards the end. Well, even with the last year, I did not drink as much. Now, when they started opening the bars, I found myself going a little bit more. But then, like right around the 1st of October, I stopped because I did that water only October challenge thing, and I just stuck with that.
Okay.
You know, I still drink my coffee. Every now and then,
not drinking alcoholic beverage. So that's number 4.
Right.
Quit smoking.
I did that 2 years ago.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were dealing with, stress differently. Some people picked up the habit where some people that didn't smoke started smoking cigarettes. Then you also have, now listen, some people picked up smoking weed, trying to relax, or they got cataracts. Who knows? We're just gonna keep it like that. And then some people picked up the bottle more. Now, I do know that there were a lot of, at the beginning of the pandemic, there were more domestic. Remember we talked about that? More violence cases because they were stuck with that individual. So I guess they just use those as outlets. Like, I need a drink. I can't be around this person the whole time. You know what I mean? So you just don't know. So you said that you will trust in the Lord more this year. I was so grateful to just make it out of 2020.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to you. It was like, listen, they were like, well, what do you plan on doing for New Year's? Listen, let me just get out of 2020 because the year wasn't horrible for me. But all the people that passed on, it was like, oh my gosh, can I just get to 2021?
Right.
Like,
it's like every day you turn
short-term goals.
You see more and more cases, more and more people dying. It's just crazy. Whew. Yes. So my thing is this year to be stay prayed up, not be prayed, stay prayed up.
Damon, I see you. Thank you. Look, I'm like, I love you too. Happy New Year to you as well. Britt said she definitely did. I know that's right. Anthony said that he's trusting his spirituality more than his religion belief. Now, there are a lot of people that's going more spirituality than religion. Now, remember when Kirk Franklin, remember when he went that way and he was like, I'm spiritual. So religion actually, I'm trying to put it in lay terms, there's a protocol versus spirituality. Now, as far as church, now Roogle was talking about going to church. That even her in Nigeria, no matter where it's at, he was like, bring in the new year
in church,
and then
no
you
matter
go
where
back.
you at. Mm-hmm.
Now, I always had to go to the church. I had to unlock that. Had to go to the church. You had to be in church. I enjoyed being in church. I did. I enjoyed being in church.
Right.
Like, okay, this is where we're bringing in New Year's in church. Couldn't do it anywhere else. And then I can go kick it afterwards.
Right. And I know a lot of people like that when we used to go to church. Everybody, it would be packed New Year's Eve, and afterwards they would make breakfast for everybody, and then everybody went on about their business. And if they went out, they went out.
Y'all had breakfast
Every year.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep, right after midnight. You know, midnight service was done like right around midnight after everybody said Happy New Year. You know, everybody go hugging everybody, and then went downstairs. Those that want to stay for breakfast went downstairs in the basement for breakfast, and then you went on about your business after you ate your breakfast. So, you know, a lot of people went and kicked it because, you know, there was parties going on forever, and some people went home.
Okay.
But yeah, every year, that's what my church did. I don't know if they did it this year because of the pandemic. They might have still done it. I didn't go to church Thursday, but yeah, every year, my church, that's what they do.
That's awesome. So what's up with the hot topics? Anything you know?
Child, listen, Soho Karen.
Who?
Soho Karen. They know who this heifer is. Why can't they go get her? Now, she committed her crime when the Grammy-winning jazz musician, what's his name? Kian, I can't think of his last name right now. Harrington, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The little young lady who assaulted his son, talking about he stole her phone, and then come to find out an Uber driver brought her phone, and like when they called the police, before the police came, she ran out. They finally found out her name, and she was just seen the other day at McDonald's, and you know.
Wait, why you call her Soho Karen?
Because she was in Soho.
Okay.
When that happened. But she's from California.
Okay.
Like she's been called a couple news outlets to talk to them before they even found her name, and news outlets wouldn't give the police her name at first.
Why not?
Who this child is, Maya Poncetti.
But wait a minute though, did you see how she attacked him?
Yes.
She attacked his son, and then she said that she was assaulted. That's not okay.
No, guess what? There's two videos. The video that Mr. Harrington took, and then the video surveillance from the hotel. So she's being charged. The thing is, nobody in California, the police in California, I mean, because people, they've been saying they trying to find her. This heifer ain't hard to find. Somebody was just interviewing her at McDonald's, or tried to interview her. She was like, have a happy new year, this and that. She run around and they said this is her third brush with the law this year.
What did she call? She
public drunkenness, and then driving under the influence. And I think that they say that was like in April or like the beginning of last year. In May, she had drunken driving, and now this, and you just walking around like, listen. The mama said she lucky it was her husband and not her, because she would have got beat up if the mama was there. She already said that.
Now, here's the thing. She attacked his son.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the surveillance of the hotel where she ran up on him. He didn't know what happened.
Right.
Now, if he would have responded, how do you think that he would have turned?
Oh, he would have been taken to jail. Boom. Why? Because number one, he's a man. Well, no. Let me be just me. Number one, because he's black. And number two, because he's a man. And the reason why it's taken them so long to arrest her and bring charges is because number one, she attacked somebody black, and number two, she ain't black.
And see,
let's just keep it 100.
Now, when I look, and you're right, when I looked, I mean, she really attacked him, and it showed that he wasn't fazed by it. I mean, because she ran up on him like a football player to tackle him and say that he stole something. So she accused him of that, and I will be taking her to court for that. And then she left it in the doggone
Uber.
But here's my thing. Why wouldn't you ask? Like, they didn't even know.
Exactly. You have my phone. Take that case off. That's my phone. Listen, they didn't have the right people in the lobby with them either.
They had the right people. That's why they ain't going there.
If it was somebody like me in that lobby, and if I would have seen that, trust me, I would have intervened. And Mama Bear wouldn't have had to be there, because Sister Bear would have had it. Boom.
I know you did, but that's okay, because we got a show. You should be catching up. Soho Karen. Go ahead.
Okay, so she told him to take his case off her phone.
Off
She
hit.
accused
No,
him of
right.
accused him of stealing her phone with no proof, did not ask him, and she just attacked him. And it wasn't her phone. Her phone was in the Uber. Maybe she was drunk. But still, that's no excuse to attack
He
somebody.
had a case on the phone.
Right. He had a case on the phone. She said, take that case off of my phone and give it to me. Her phone, she had lost her phone in the Uber, first of all. And it was after that.
So, right, and you know cases. I know where you're going. Go ahead, Roogle. Where you going?
I was saying, but how is he gonna randomly steal her phone? I mean, not knowing what kind of phone she got, steal her phone and have a case for it.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Thank
you. Know what I mean? I mean, that's as bad as that damn police officer in Texas who ran up in that guy's apartment. I still can't get over that.
Yeah, that was
right.
You want to bring the listening audience current, Roogle, with that story?
The young man who was killed in was it Houston or Texas, where the female police officer supposedly mistaken her apartment for his. And then she went in, she saw him, and she shot him dead.
Yeah, that's
and the other part, I mean, I can't really challenge how people feel about it, but when the brother testified and was like, Judge, can I just give her a hug? I was like, what are you doing? But that was just my personal feelings. But people have they have
you might even put the voodoo hex on her. You never know.
Well, I don't know, but
if you had
the compassion to forgive her. Did she get like 5 years suspended sentence or something ridiculous like that?
Some ridiculous. She had been terminated from other counties and then got hired there. So it's just the injustices are real. The injustices are real, and you just got to just deal with it.
Was this at McDonald's, this lady?
Yeah. No. She went to McDonald's and somebody was trying to interview her.
Yeah. Somebody tried to interview her. They saw her at McDonald's. This happened in New York, December 26th. She wasn't even a guest at the hotel anymore. She had checked out 3 days prior, but she went back there because she lost her phone. And she accused the young man of taking her phone because that's the first person she saw. And the father was like, oh, you just saying that because we're black. We just got off the elevator. What are you talking about? How did my son take your phone? That's his phone. He don't have to. And he was telling the son, you don't have to prove nothing to her. The manager tried to intervene to keep everything calm. I was like, well, can you just show her the phone? And he was like, no, you don't have to. Why? I'm trying to defuse the situation. Well, why are you approaching us? You saw us just walk off the elevator. Say something to her. And then she was like, well, I'm calling the police. And he was like, the police have already been called. The father did. And before the police can arrive, she ran out of the hotel after she done assaulted the boy. When she ran, she knew what she did, because if you felt that strongly that this young man took something of yours, and when they said, you talk about call the police, and the police was called, you ain't gonna run. She knew she was wrong when she ran.
So let's break it down. You said that she was in the hotel 3 days ago.
She had checked out 3 days prior.
3 days prior, she checked out thinking that she lost it there. She don't see these guys in that room. She see them in the lobby.
Yeah, just getting off the elevator.
My God, man, that's some crazy.
And then she felt stupid when the Uber driver brought her the phone, because I guess the Uber driver realized, knew that's the last place he dropped her off. He came there and brought her the phone. She left it in the Uber. I don't know what day or when, but she left it in the Uber.
Wow.
That was a good Uber driver to even bring it to her, because most of them wouldn't.
5-star rating. What you talking about?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, you lost it. No apology, no, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, nothing. First of all, you ain't had no business putting your hands on anybody else's child and accusing them of something, especially if you how do you figure he stole your phone when you had just witnessed them walking off the elevator and he had his phone in his hand? Like the father said, he was like, they didn't start making our phones when they made yours. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. But like I said, the right people was not around when that happened, because had the right person been around, she would have gotten knocked out. The father wouldn't have had to worry about it, because the right person would have slapped the, ooh, Lord. They would hurt that child. Trust me. That's just ridiculous.
Hey, that paparazzi be real. I'm like, how they catch her at a McDonald's?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, they caught her. They've been looking ever since they found out like around what area she's staying. Then the thing is, she know what she's doing because none of her phones have ever, her phone number, her phone, nothing is in her. None of her phone numbers have been in her name. They've been in either her mama's name or her daddy's name. She moves around a lot. Right now, she's staying. The little bit of information that they just put out, I guess she's staying with her mom.
Well, I think the only thing I hate about these particular things is that so much energy goes into like these terrible people, and not enough energy goes into like celebrating the victim. You know what I mean? Like they should be interviewing that kid like all the time. You know?
Right.
Listen. Listen, they put all if it was a black assailant, they would have put all of their energy into that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have took them this long to catch. Like I said, it's mighty funny how, before they found out her name, I said, it's mighty funny how if it was a black person, they would have been caught within 24 to 48 hours. I said, but since it's not a black person, it's taking them forever. Okay, whatever. So we still having to deal with that. That's what I'm saying. New Year's resolutions, whatever, because we're still dealing with the same bull crap that we've been dealing with for over 400 years.
Well, the dad is allegedly still traumatized, which I'm sure he is, and I shouldn't have said alleged, but I'm just covering myself. The brother, I guess, how they always say that they can, they always say that forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. But, that the brother probably truly, believed that. And you got to go through the grieving process, and that might work for him. Some people can, forgive the other person. Like, I'm not going to hold hatred for the other person. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. That right there could have been avoided. Some feel as though that, I don't know how their stories are mixed up, because we know that the door was halfway ajar, and that's why she went in shooting. But some people say her key fit the lock, but she didn't open the door. I believe they had more of a relationship, to be honest with you.
Right. That's what a lot of people.
And that's why that brother probably hugged her so that she could go ahead and just get out of it. We're going to move on to the vaccination. Now, the COVID vaccine. I already know how you feel. However, there are some people that feel as though that they are going to get it. Roogle, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, by the time it gets around to me being able to take it, we'll know everything we need to know, probably. Because I'm just saying, like, I don't like the way they're trying to distribute everything is they fear that a lot of these shots are going to go unused. Mainly,
nobody tell them to get all that many. They should have got what was ordered.
Well, I mean, but the thing I'm saying is, like, let's say they send it to a hospital, and the hospital says, I have 100 staff, but only like 60 of them are willing to take the shot. What does the hospital do with the other 40%?
Donate it to the community and let the community leaders go ahead and get it like they did locally.
I mean, but the part is, it's a huge logistic challenge, because it's not like it can be kept at like room temperature. It has to be so cold and everything of that nature.
Now you know what I'm gonna say. What is it? Pfizer's has to be given at a certain temperature. Kind of like when we were talking about the food. Let's be realistic. I believe it's Pfizer. Don't quote me on it, okay? Let me say alleged. Cover myself. When you have that vaccine and it has to be served or given at a certain temperature or kept at a certain temperature, how many times have you seen where something is supposed to be served or given, administered at a certain temperature, and it has sat out and then people put it back? How often have we heard that?
A lot of times.
I can't put myself, even though we're all human, you will hope that people do the right thing, but I'm not trusting it. I'm not trusting it. There was a doctor that took it in Mexico. He's hospitalized after having the vaccine. When you get, and these are just my thoughts. And y'all tell me, just a lay person, okay? Y'all tell me what you think. If I have COVID or had COVID and I didn't build up antibodies against it, and I've actually had COVID, okay? The live virus, and I didn't build up antibodies against it, how in the world why would I trust something that was made, Kamisha's terms, in the hallway, Kamisha from Dayton, something made in the hallway, some chemicals, and think that I'm going to be protected from this makeshift vaccine versus the live virus? It's almost like chickenpox. So you have chickenpox, you had the live virus. So what's going to happen when you get your blood work done? It's going to say reactive, non-reactive. It's going to be non-reactive. You know what I mean? Because you have those antibodies already in there. If you don't, it's going to say reactive. Now, why is it that some people have the antibodies and some people don't? Now, the people who have the antibodies, because first they were saying, well, if you had COVID, you don't need to get the vaccine. But some people didn't develop antibodies against it, so they might get it. But again, if I had the live virus and I didn't build antibodies against it, why would I get something that's made, you made it in the back room and like, okay, let me hurry up and do this. Like, it was within a year. But you know what I think? I think y'all knew this a whole long time ago. Y'all was working on it. We're going to pull it on out. But why would I do some fake stuff? Like, come on.
I guess this is supposed to have been the SARS vaccine.
You have a different SARS. You got SARS 1, you got SARS 2. So this
right.
is SARS 2. So it's like, come on. I
know a lot of people that took it in the community.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people.
You know what else I got? You know what else I got? I got this. Why do you want Black people to take it so much?
Right.
That right there, why do you want to give me this so much? And it's not even just with the vaccine. Like anything, if somebody like, why are you forcing me? Like, why do you keep putting it out there? We need for the when they were first doing the trial. Remember that? And now then you want to sit there and you like, okay, well, I'm gonna show some Black people getting it. That's still, listen here. If they jump off the bridge, I'm not jumping off the bridge. I might look down and be like, dang, that's a shame.
Well, you know what I mean?
Always been what happened to them. I'm not doing it.
We've always been guinea pigs all of our life.
Listen here. They said they was gonna pay and give us insurance back with syphilis, the Tuskegee experiment.
Okay, how much money they paying?
But here's the thing: that was with money and insurance, and they didn't hold true to that. So insurance for the family. Now you have this. No, nobody's playing with you. But why is it? That's something we need to think about. Why is it? And I understand you have your you want your stats, but you got people from Africa, you got Mexico, you got all of them. Go ahead. Either it's good or it's not. And they're saying that it's 95% effective. 95% effective. You ain't, listen, that's not even effective to be the father. You have to be 99.9%. You are the father. Like 95%, right. There's still that 5% possibility to me, which is not good enough, that something may happen. Now, there are some people that did get it, a few nurses, and they had Bell's palsy. Well, you could get that with the flu vaccine too. A lot of people don't really know that. And of course, they got death as one. I'm cool on that. I am cool on all of it. I don't want no parts of it. So I'm like, let time go by, see what's going on, and then go from there. Like Roogle said, by the time.
How about the nurse that took the vaccine and still end up with COVID?
That's my point with the antibodies. That is my point. But what about the doctor that's hospitalized?
Right.
You want to be a hero? Go ahead and be a hero. And I'm just going to watch and be like, okay, thank you for your heroism.
The crazy thing is now they're talking about the people that don't take it, I guess, within a year. It's within this next year, they're trying to make it mandatory, trying to, give you a card if you do take it. And that, well, a lot of people have their card already, but we won't.
Oh, like the hepatitis B.
Right.
Like the hepatitis B
to travel there. We won't be able to fly anywhere. We won't be able to go to certain places if we cannot show proof that we have been vaccinated.
Okay, well, sounds like the airline's gonna lose a lot of money.
Yep.
What you think about that?
And a lot of these hotels and resorts and stuff.
I don't think they're gonna lose a lot of money.
Guess who will be driving?
I mean, you might be driving, but you can only drive. There's only so far you can drive. You know what I mean? I mean, we happen to live in a place that has a lot of like a lot of different, like
trailer.
Go to Florida. If you want some desert, go to, I don't know, wherever desert is. You know, wherever you want to go.
I'm getting a camper. That's my next investment.
Yeah, but I'm just, I'm just saying, like, I think the thing is, 95% actually is a very high success rate for a vaccination. You know, like I think the current flu vaccinations they put out, they're only about like 70%. You know,
guess what? Well, clearly because it's different strands, and just like now they have a different strand of COVID.
Yeah, but
so it's like, why am I?
That's supposed to be even more deadly.
I am not. First of all, you're going to make me have this vaccine? Make me? That's not. This is America.
I mean, I don't know. I just kind of feel like
America. Like, what the heck?
I mean, like,
what if I'm allergic to eggs?
You got. I mean, is eggs used to make it? I don't know what they.
It is for flu. It is the flu
I mean,
vaccine.
you know, but I would say though, there's already vaccinations that we already have to have. I just think the issue is that, well, not even that you have to have, but it's recommended that you have, because you can always get out of something with religious reasons and all that other stuff. But for chicken pox, measles, mumps, you know.
Yeah, there are some people who refuse to have it after they look at the side effects.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is that like you mentioned, like somebody said, well, why us? Why, you know, because the issue is nobody wants to catch it from anybody. And it's not like it's something where you can do, it's so hard not to breathe. You know what I mean? Like, what's the alternative?
That's true.
With a scuba suit on? I don't know, but you know, but it is, I mean, even then you releasing gas or whatever, but I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like I ain't telling nobody not to get it or anything like that. I just think you got to make a decision based on your situation and then go from there, you know.
Now here's something that's interesting. Let's just talk about the regular flu vaccine. When you deal with the flu vaccine, they won't give it to you if you have a fever. Okay? They won't. Like, if you're, you know, down, they won't give it to you. So if you have underlying chronic illnesses, I just want you to think about this. If you have underlying chronic illnesses, to me, it's not a good idea to get it. Now, they have those people as the people to get it first. You know what I mean? Like, if you're more at risk, here, you should get this. But why should you decrease their immune system if they don't feel well anyway? Exactly. But I'm not telling people what to do. I'm not. But they did offer it to us. And I told y'all before, I was like, no, thank you. Because it's too new. It's too new and it's too fast. Like, hold on. It's almost like the bridges. And these bridges going out because they got rid of the remainders. But I'm going to be quiet on that one. With the new math. It's like, oh, we don't do remainders. Now look. Bridge is just falling down. Because you want to just do the whole. No, you need that little piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's just me. Michael Blackson, the comedian, y'all remember him?
Yeah.
He said that the COVID lowered his sex drive, so he recommends the vaccine.
COVID lowered his sex drive, so he recommends the vaccination.
Mm-hmm. He recommends it. You get it?
Yeah, but
It lowered everybody's sex drive because you're not kissing the person. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think that correlation.
Go ahead.
Like, did he actually have COVID?
I don't know if he actually had it, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't know if I.
He just said that it killed his sex drive.
I mean, but
he wished he had the vaccine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not prone to taking medical advice from comedians.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'm just going to tell you that, like.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Yes, he did have it, okay. And he said that he does say that he had it, and it's better than getting the virus, which he claims it left his penis limp. Complications of COVID.
A complication of COVID. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I don't know this guy like that, but but there could
And
be
how does he know the vaccine ain't gonna leave him limp?
That's what he said. I mean, maybe the stress. Let's see. It's the COVID. It's the COVID symptom you don't hear about, but surely don't want to experience. If the low sex drive isn't enough to make you fear COVID's wrath and head straight for the vaccination line, consider this. Michael says, and this is from TMZ, Michael says the virus also had him pooping himself. Well, that's enough to lower your sex drive, because guess what? If people thought about it, they out.
But that's a side effect is diarrhea, though. I mean, not a side effect. I'm sorry. That's a condition. That's a symptom of COVID is diarrhea. But it seems like he's been married for 5 years and he has a 3-year-old son.
So 3 years ago, it clearly worked. But maybe he knows now it's not.
What if the vaccine lowers your sex drive as well? I mean, because there are some certain medicines that lowers your sex drive. So it's like,
what you gonna do? He said that he's among one of the first to get it, and he said he'll join President Barack Obama and the other celebrities promoting the shot.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Blackson is encouraging somebody to do anything except for his family. But I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm throwing shade.
Shade, yeah, shade. Oh, shady tree over there. He growing shade trees in the back.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. It's cloudy outside.
Do you think that it's just to stay relevant? You think he's coming out to stay relevant?
And basically, because
I mean, I don't know.
I heard that from him in a while.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe he had a good point he want to put out there or whatever. But you know, God bless him. You know, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I want to hear from Fauci.
There you go. What you say? I want to hear from Fauci.
Coming from Fauci, the CDC, or the WHO. Yeah, I ain't really dealing with it.
Look, that's the sky, but we're gonna keep it moving. Let's talk about Andre Hill. Remember Andre Hill, the black young man who was shot and killed? Oh Jesus, that's loud. Killed by Columbus, Ohio cop.
Yeah.
And he was laying dying for like 10 minutes before they performed CPR or any first aid on him, and he passed away.
Yeah, that's
7 years old.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to do us any old kind of way.
I believe that police officer was terminated.
Yeah.
He was terminated. Do you think that that's enough?
No.
I mean, I think termination is probably the first step, though. You know what I mean? Because like at that point in time, you're not really protected by the union or whatever because you're not employed. Unless their police officer unions work different, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we need, Officer Malik, to come on here. Now, this is what they said. They don't give him first aid, but they do walk over and handcuff him and then wait a full 10 minutes before doing chest compressions. He was unarmed, and a woman inside the house who comes out and says, he was bringing me Christmas money. He didn't even do anything. One of the cop orders her back inside the house. So for her not to be shot, she went on back inside the house. So they did handcuff him, but they didn't perform CPR or first aid. Let me put it that way, first aid.
Well, if you already shot him, there's no need to handcuff him. If he's laying there bleeding and dying.
Right. They say, now Chrissy, one of the listening audience says that he was walking toward the cop coming out of the garage. So I guess she said he was bringing Christmas money where he was at, and that's where they shot him at. The officer, he's a 19-year veteran, not a 19-year-old, a 19-year veteran. So he knows. I just really think it's just like open season. Kind of like what I was saying before. You trying, like, get out of here. You trying to do what you got to do. Y'all have a little meeting, and y'all be like, okay, you get your award. Like, it's just a sad case. That that siren is long. It's a whole 5 minutes, I guess. And he was killed in the garage by the vehicle. You can see him right by the vehicle. So he wasn't even off the property. So why shoot on the property? Like, you are there. Like, what the heck is going on?
I mean, it's just, and to me, it seems like you would think with the man that got killed in Minneapolis and all the protests during the summer and everything, that they would calm down. It seems like they're getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're actually, some of these police officers are actually, and I'm saying some,
Mm-hmm.
because you still do have good police officers, but some of these police officers are like, almost like they're taking it out on Black people because we're trying to take a stand against injustice against minorities, against Blacks. So they're trying to punish other ones. It's crazy. Like, something has to be done.
Right. You would think so. Now, did y'all hear about this? Let's talk politics. Roogle, you ready?
Let's have it.
All right. Now, some are saying that Donald Trump, president, I'll respect all the presidents, President Donald Trump is trying to cash in on Biden's inauguration. What do you think about that?
He said he wasn't going.
Well, is he gonna have his own like protest thing the same day or something?
Who knows?
That's the only way I could see him like cashing in. I don't, you know.
Well, what he's saying is, allegedly, is that he still seems to be holding out hope that he'll overturn the election results and win the presidency.
No.
But his DC hotel suggests otherwise, based on their rates for Joe Biden's inauguration day. There's a lot of people that are talking about going to the inauguration. How do you think that that's going to work with the social distancing?
Y'all got that? Mm-mm.
DC a big place. I would imagine though he would probably not have a huge thing anyway. Because he's already. I mean, everything that he's done at this point about social distancing and the importance of us not, being around and stuff like that. I think that there is probably going to be different than any inauguration we've seen before, as far as like crowd size and that sort of thing. But
well, listen. According to Trump International Hotel, DC's website, it currently shows that it's 5 times more expensive to book a room on January the 19th and 20th, and you have to have a 2-night minimum stay.
But you know what though? I think most people who will be going to support Biden probably wouldn't stay in Trump's hotel anyway.
See,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So the only people who he's gonna be charging is his protesting people that be willing to pay those high prices. You know what I mean?
And that's probably who's gonna try to show up. Is folks protesting.
Yeah, because my thoughts would be, if I'm going down there for Biden's inauguration, I wouldn't even consider staying in Trump's hotel. I would Airbnb or anything I could do other than support his hotel. Because that's part of the issue, is that how much money he siphoned into his family business because of how he arranged things at Mar-a-Lago, and then also how he had like the Secret Service staying there. They would say, "Oh, we're only charging them $50 a night," when they were actually charging them $600. So
regularly is $400 a night, but on those particular in January, and on those particular 2 nights, one night is $2,000, a little over $2,000.
Yeah, but I'm
Be
saying,
exact, let me get the number: $2,225 per night. That's on the 19th and 20th, and on the other nights it's like the $400 range. Go ahead.
I would like to see what the occupancy is on that day, and then the other
zero at them rates.
Then I would like to see, like, if there could be a camera of people coming out and see what they had on at the time, and they have on a bunch of mega hats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He's not. I just don't see how people who would be that die hard for for Biden to actually go to DC for that would consider staying in Trump.
I wouldn't stay there if it was $2. I wouldn't stay there if it was free, not Trump's hotel.
So I mean, like, you may just be fine. I don't know, but there you go, man. He is, I don't know. I think he'll, he had like 70 million plus people vote for him or whatever. So he'll probably come out with some books, do some different things. Like, he gonna make money from it. He gonna make money.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some people view him like others view Obama. You know what I mean? So he's gonna make some money.
Okay.
But
so
I want to
about Atlanta.
I think Atlanta.
Yeah, he's saying that he's still pretty much letting the public know that there's like glitches in the system. Go ahead.
I think the thing with Atlanta is the only glitch in Atlanta's system is that they got a runoff election, which is a part of Jim Crow era politics, which needs to go away. That's the biggest injustice that's happening in Atlanta. Outside of that, though, the thing is that when you get heavy populated metropolitan areas, it takes longer to count those votes. And those votes came over and turned the tide. I mean, even when you think about like the percentages of votes that happen in, like, say, Ohio, which went to him overwhelmingly by about almost 500,000 votes. We had, usually in Ohio, there's epicenters of where Democrats flourish, like Cleveland used to be over here. Now that's not the case
Right.
presidentially. Columbus, Cincinnati, those particular areas. And you figured so many votes would come out of there that it would make it like 53% to 47% or whatever. You know what I mean? So when you have an area that great, and then people so motivated, especially after they seen how Abrams was done with her election. And sometimes I was telling I think my sister about this. I was like, it's amazing how God will position you a certain way, and it may not be for what you think it is. Like, she was trying to become governor, but then she ended up becoming the person that helped win the presidency and overturn that state. You know what I mean? Because of her convictions to ensure that people's votes were counted properly. So I mean, and right now with everything going on in the Senate, I think like Trump, when he said, "Oh, let's give him that $2,000," he was throwing shade on the Republican Party because he knew they didn't want to do that because the Democrats already introduced $2,000
at the beginning.
Stuff, So what happens then? Then you got when Trump said you do the 2,000, then you had those two candidates saying, "Yeah, I'm siding with Trump because he says the $2,000," thinking that's going to sway votes when for sure you're going to get that money if you get those two Democrats in there. Because the only vote that counts at that point is the vice president, and she ain't gonna give it to him. Come on now.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking of him saying the $2,000 because I do remember that it was introduced by the Democrats before they they shut that down. I was thinking that he was probably doing that for his, when he runs again, because to my understanding, he's supposed to be running in 2024. And thinking that people would actually go ahead and vote for him.
He better hope he ain't in jail.
I mean, if he ain't in jail, but I don't think, to me, I just think it was a big middle finger to the Republican Party because they weren't about that life. And even now they're trying to argue it, saying, well, why would we get $2,000 to people who have never been out of work over this particular thing? But the whole issue is it's about fueling the economy. So if I've never been out of work, but I got extra $2,000 to spend, it's probably more likely it's gonna get spent than somebody who just keeps it and saves it. You know what I mean?
Right. So. Now that's true.
So, but that's the biggest thing. And so they're like, well, we can find different ways to distribute the money. Is that if it's housing issues, if it's this or is that or whatever, but. They're not trying to, like, I don't think that the way to do that is siphoning through third parties. I just think like, my thoughts would be hire some more people for IRS and start turning out more of those checks.
Right. Real quick. I read somewhere where they They said that it's the $600 is already in the account, but it'll show up on the 4th.
I heard some people did get it. I didn't get anything yet.
Mine has been pending since Wednesday. Some people got theirs on Wednesday. Mine is still pending.
Yeah, and then the thing is, I usually get a paper check from them. But what I noticed, I look back and my 2019 taxes, I filed them early. I found them in like March or February, and they're saying that they don't have it. I'm like, I filed it electronically, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
I had at the beginning when they were first talking about the 600, I kind of broke it down because you already know I'm going to look at certain things and see what it is. $600, that's $1.64 a day. Now y'all remember no commercials? You could feed a hungry person for a month. Look, Rugle's shaking his head. No, like remember you.
Crazy. She crazy, y'all.
Listen, though, y'all know where I'm going. I'm giving it $1.64 a day. So if you do 600 divided by 365, you're gonna end up with $1.54, I believe. I can't even. And 2,000 is $5.47. So at least give me $5 so I can get a value meal or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But $1.64. And they sitting there going back and forth. And that's pretty much where President Trump was saying that's a slap in the face to the American people.
Listen, it was a slap in the face because some countries have been giving their people, their citizens, stimuluses of around $1,200 or more ever since the pandemic started every month. So yeah,
$1.64. Yeah. So so they're keeping their economy alive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're keeping people in houses too, though. I mean, if you got that money, then you know what you need to.
You don't have to go. If I had the option to stay home and be safe and get paid, I would do it.
Right.
Yeah, and so the flip side of that is the governments may look at it like we're paying you not to infect anybody else. You know what I mean? Like you can look at it as a personal safety thing, but it's also like don't get like not only is it like don't catch COVID, but it's like don't break your leg. You know what I mean? Like don't do anything that's gonna cause you to go to the hospital because it's overwhelmed. You know, I mean I think that's the other side when people are like, well, we need to go out here and live our lives and stuff like that. Well, they saying that if you would have had the triage may not be, the system may not be there to be able to support your issue. So, be safe. Don't skateboard or something crazy. I don't know.
We're just like, don't skateboard crazy.
Skateboard. Don't go skiing.
Okay. We won't go skiing. Look, I'm like, we won't go skiing. A DC listener actually said, I was trying to find their comment, but I didn't get it. It was pretty much on the order of people need to stop talking about the $600 because it lets them know their income level. I'm going to try to find it for you. Go ahead, though. What's your thoughts on that, if you understand what I'm talking about? Did you get it or not?
I'm not talking about the $600 because it lets them know their income level.
Yeah, let me make sure I get it. Let me make sure I get it right. Okay. People need to stop talking about the $600 because it speaks to your personal income level. In order to get the check, you have to make less than $75,000 per year. So clearly they probably make more than $75,000 a year, that listener. But here's my question. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because it's $1.64 a day, and you can feed a hungry person for what, $1.64 a day? Is that what it is? Those commercials?
Yeah, but I think the thing is that person also needs to realize that like when you talk about the 1%, the 1% doesn't start when you make $1 million a year. It's less lower than that. You know, I think it's like maybe like 400,000. You know, okay. So you talk about, let's see, what?
Okay. Yeah, the 1% versus the rest of the American people. Everybody doesn't make, I mean, you, 75,000 a year don't even start off at 75,000 a year.
I have questions.
And the 600 is, honestly, that's not giving you anything. as much as I'm giving in taxes.
Okay, I have
Okay,
questions.
you're not giving me anything. Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is, why do we have to stop talking about it? I mean, it's being talked about regardless to whether, because don't nobody know anybody's finances. I could be right at that 75, or I could be at $69,999 right, or 74,000. I could be right up under the list. So what's the problem? I'm not understanding that.
Okay.
I need clarification, DC.
Okay, then. Nyk need clarification.
Okay, so what it's saying overall is that the 1% in America is considered a family that makes $421,926 annually. But it can vary based off of where you live. So if you're in Vermont, or I'm sorry, what is this? Connecticut, for example, it can be $700,000 that makes you in the 1%.
Oh, okay. Indiana has a comment for DC.
Ooh.
Look, Nyk, like, okay. And I'm paraphrasing, it's pretty much, I'm not ashamed of my income because I was affected by COVID.
Basically.
So even if you weren't affected by COVID, you know, people have a job, and like you said, Roogle, everyone is not, that's a 1%. That tells you 1% of the population is over 400,000. Is that what you're saying? I want to be clear.
Yeah, 400 nationwide is 400.
Okay.
Like $22,000 a year.
Okay, so that's 1%. So let's talk about the other 99%. You know what I mean? You know, some people are like, free money. Okay, just go ahead. You saved it for me. I appreciate it, whatever it is. The 600, but it's to, like you said, to stimulate the population. But is that really stimulating the population? 600?
No, it's really not.
Because you have those, I don't want to say deferments, because that's not what it is. It's not a deferment. Some people think it is a deferment. You still got to pay it. It's not forgiveness. Exactly. Yeah, it's not a loan forgiveness. Some people, like, they weren't evicted. You know, they couldn't evict people, you know, for not paying their rent during the COVID. So if you couldn't pay the $5,000, how do you expect? Because they said, what was it? They lengthened it to what, January 31st now?
Mm-hmm.
How do you expect the American people to pay the $10,000? Because you know it's double. You know what I mean?
Right. And this is my thing during the pandemic. I mean, because it's like, stop talking about it, but because guess what? I still worked during the pandemic. I was an essential worker. I still made sure my rent and my bills were paid. I didn't rely on the little rent deferment. I still got to pay my student loans back, you know. So I'm doing a little program, the little, you know, forgiveness program, but I still got to pay. I'm still paying that, even though it's a loan deferment where they are not, because actually the deferment is where they're not going to charge you the interest. You're not getting charged that extra interest, but guess what? I'm still paying. So, I mean, regardless to whether it's letting somebody know about it, like I said, you don't know what the person's income level is. The income level could be $1 less than whatever that income is. The point of the matter, we need to talk about it, because they're, you know, trying to throw a little bit of money at the American people because of the inconvenience or whatever. It's not enough, regardless of how much money you make. And it affected me just as well as it affected everyone else, even though I still had to work and still made sure my bills was paid. So what's the problem? I'm not understanding.
So, for example, what I found here from I can't even pronounce his name.
Statistica.
Okay, so anyway, from their website, it says that like 53% of Americans have an annual household income less than 75,000 a year.
Okay, 50%.
So that's more than half.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, like, there's a lot of people in that boat.
Right.
And that's household.
Right.
Two family
Like
household.
I said, me and my husband, we're right there at it, but we were still eligible for that 600. But
Yeah.
we're right there at that. So, but I mean, I just don't. I want to know why can't we talk about it? What's the problem with us talking about it?
But we don't talk about it, so it don't even matter. I guess
Right.
I want people to know, you know, what you make. But guess what? Money. How much somebody? Some people value themselves, or I don't know if that's the correct word I want to use, but validate themselves according to how much they make. Some people do. Go ahead.
I think the issue though that the government had, like, is this whole thing. I thought everybody got it. I didn't know this thing about the whole.
You
thing
know,
about the income part. I just thought everybody got it, because that was the issue that the Republicans are making now. That's going against it. Is like, why would I give $2,000 to people I don't believe that need it? You know what I mean? So with that, and the thing is that like, I could have, if let's say I had restaurants, right? And those restaurants, like I had 2 restaurants, I made like $200,000 a year or whatever. I may only be operating at 15% of what I would have been operating at before. You know what I mean? So I think the thing was like, you know, there's ebb and flows to income as well that people need to consider. You know what I mean? Because some people, even though they have money, they live in check to check because they're not financially, you know,
right.
They don't have the financial wherewithal to do better. They say the more money people have, the worse their credit score is.
Now that's the truth, because they're
Right.
eligible. Look, so, I'm like, because they're eligible for credit.
Yeah. So if I'm making $1 million, but I'm living check to check because I got like all the best cars and all that stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
It may not, you know, that $2,000 might come in handy. You know what I mean?
It's called debt to income ratio.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, using the fancy words there.
I mean, really,
it
don't matter how much you make it.
Well,
if you got a lot of stuff that you're paying out versus what you're making, it really don't matter.
Yeah.
So well, let me say this. Nancy Pelosi's house was vandalized last night.
It should have been Mitch McConnell.
Okay. And it was vandalized with a pig's head, fake blood, and a political message. And what it says, $2,000 cancel rent. And you guys can look at that. We want everything.
I saw that. And like I said, it should have been Mitch, cancel the M, and add the B, McConnell.
They want everything.
They want everything. But for somebody to go and vandalize her home,
that was wrong.
I would be surprised, because I would just assume that there would be some level of security at her house.
I would too. They did it on her garage. And that's where I was going. Why just dropping off a severed pig's head? At some point, you would think that there is some type of security. Because look at Uncle DeWine. Remember they were harassing Uncle DeWine too.
Yeah. Uncle DeWine.
So what?
Right. They
what do?
Mass order and the curfew, and man, people, get over yourselves. This is what we are facing now. This is what we have to do to be able to function in America. Just shut up and do it.
Listen, one of the listening audience said it was Mitch.
But the funny
vandalized her house.
Like, I don't.
He the one that said no to the $2,000.
Alleged. Let me say alleged anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what they mean by everything, but if you look at the Democratic strategy for what they want to do for America, you would have like free healthcare, you have free college, you know. I mean, like you would be on your way to having more than what you ever had before. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm looking for?
Like it's
I'm
kind of
looking for student loan forgiveness, like totally.
Right.
Erase that.
the whole thing.
Erase that for the essential workers.
I do know
I'm
that if
for
they
myself right
give
there.
total, I do know that if they give, I was told, since I'm still paying, that if they give total loan forgiveness for student loans, I get what I paid so far in my little program, I get that money back. So I'm paying my stuff faithfully. Hopefully they forgive the student loans and I can get my money back and go back to school so I can finish. Because that's what I was waiting to finish, because I wanted to pay some of my loans down.
But that's
so
the whole thing, though.
Go back.
Like your educational attainment shouldn't be connected to financial outcomes, and that's the whole economic piece that keeps people down. Because how can you go and get a career? How can you go after a career that may be in demand? Because like they say that like your degree is only really good for 2 years. I mean 10 years, unless you keep certifications, you have professional whatever. But the point is, if you have an ever evolving economic system on this job is hot now, this job will be hot later, how can I evolve into those other positions if I have this financial anchor around my neck tied to me striving to get that first degree or what have you?
Exactly. I mean, I've been passed up for a lot of jobs that I could be, that I'm potentially qualified for, because I don't have that degree yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I've been working to try to pay on my student loans to get that stuff down so that I can go back and finish, because I don't have that much longer to finish to get that first degree. And notice I said first degree because I'm not going to just stop at that, but I need to do what I have to do so that I can finish and continue to go to school and elevate myself. But there's so many jobs that I'm qualified for, but because I don't have that degree.
Yeah, you want to make yourself competitive in the workforce.
Right.
And just like Roogle was saying, like you said, the first 10 years, and then you have to keep getting recertification, research. We have to have continuing education. And, when it being in the medical field, for what was it? Something over 20 years. It's like, might be 20, 23 years. You do want to keep striving, and you do have to go forward, because there's a lot of places, like even though you sit like a diploma registered nurse versus a degree registered nurse. Here's what's interesting about it. You have places that will ask you that, and it'll say degree required, but you sit for the same exact exam. And it's like, okay, we sit for the same exact exam, but they put degree, and then you are competitive in the workforce, and you can kind of demand what you want. Now, me being a nurse practitioner, doctor, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the people, even though it's helping people, but I've always been a people person. Like when I was a licensed cosmetologist, I've always been a people person. And of course I like to talk. So this is like my primary job. Nursing is secondary. And some people, they look and they introduce you. They be like, oh, okay, yeah, she's a nurse. I'm a radio personality. You know what I mean? Especially
to be a nurse.
What'd you say?
A radio personality that happens to be a nurse.
Absolutely. That's right. In a nutshell. It's like, come on. And then you have those that when they introduce you that way, it makes me think like, so what's wrong with being a radio personality? Clearly they have an issue with the radio personality versus being a nurse. Like it puts you on a different pedestal. Well, and it's like, go ahead.
I think it's just that whole thing with like how we look at certain, like we be like, oh, how could that person do wrong? They're a doctor. You know what I mean? Like we give this we give this idea that higher education or attainment means more, that person is more ethical or more, or whatever, when they could be more morally corrupt than anyone, So it's just a weird status thing we put on there, but I think it's even stronger in the African American community because our numbers of attaining, like for example, of physicians, I'm only using this because I just heard this stat the other day, only 5% of American physicians are African American.
Only 5%.
Only 5%. So it's still,
here's what's interesting. So if you have only 5%, and then you have people who, like, I know some people that be like, oh, I'm not going to a Black doctor. Why? Why not? So it's us keeping other people down. You know, it's like we're keeping ourselves down. Like, what is the issue? But I'm proud. Look, I like what I do. I like my communications degree. I like all of it. This is go ahead.
I think the issue is what are the things that's stopping us from having that percentage be higher? Because I could be a Black person and say, you know what, I know that person and I just don't like them, and I would prefer for them not to be my healthcare physician. Because but the thing is that there's not enough of us to be able to say, well, I won't go to this guy versus that guy because I think this guy's better than this other person. And it's kind of funny, but my grandmother kind of succumbed to her life ended because she got some bad treatment from a doctor. And there was another doctor that she was going to. And the thing is, both African American. The one was a good one, and the other one was not so good, right? But the point is that, like, for whatever reason, you know, things happen or whatever. But I think that the question we need to start, not even a question, we need to start answering this demand is to say, how do we get more African American people in those positions? How do we get beyond that academic failure tied to, you can't go to medical school unless you got this amount of money or you got the loans, and then how I work through that and then, you know, maintain myself and go through there paying like $50,000 a year or whatever for 4 years. You know, how do we get them over that hump to be able to be successful in that field or any field, you know? Probably
a lot of encouragement, but you have the debt, and but means eliminate everything I said before. You can do the encouragement. They are probably focused on the debt. How much is it going to cost me to go to a 4-year college and medical school? Can we afford it? But we tend to, and I'm going to put us all into it, we tend to say how much it costs and we can't afford it. And we are hindering our youth by letting them know that, oh, you can't afford it, instead of saying, yes, you can. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I know a whole lot of people, and I'm probably going to be one of them because I keep deferring my loans. But you'll be paying loans for the rest of your life. You'll be paying bills for the rest of your life. So I'm like, go for it.
And that's how come, when I was in grad school, I made this argument because we were talking about other countries and how they like give people free school and healthcare. It's like, yeah, but they tax you at this percentage anyway. And I was like, what's the difference? I was like, if I were to be taxed at that percentage, make a higher income because I wouldn't be paying for these other things. Mm-hmm. Why would I care when I'm in a system now where you're going to tax me anyway? You're still going to make me pay for these other things anyway. So and it doesn't have to be catastrophic. You know, one healthcare visit can cause you to have $100,000 in debt. You know, if you get a heart attack, you're in the hospital for 2 weeks. That's about 100. You know, mm-hmm. So you know those things, even though they may be life threatening, but they didn't end your life. You know, you still working. You're trying to work to fight that debt off. You know, so so how good is that for the overall thing that I'm already getting taxed like 23%. Then I got to pay for the school if I want it. Then I got to pay for my health care if I don't want to die. You know, that's another like maybe 50% of what you had left anyway. So it's like, you know, I mean, yeah, save me the pain and tax me and let me get it all for free.
I heard that. Someone from the listening audience, 2 people actually replied to that, and one said, "Stop promoting sports." That's to speak to the as far as like when you said about doctors, they said stop promoting sports. So I guess say, hey, you could be a doctor, you can be a lawyer. See, that's why we missed that Cosby show. You know what I'm saying? And then Anthony said he's speaking to the degree situation. He said having a degree is awesome, is an awesome accomplishment, but it only makes you a specialist in the field you study. It doesn't or shouldn't equate to anything but that.
Yeah, good, all great points.
Uh-huh.
And that's also like, you even speak to like, you know, like you like the ability for people to be able to do multiple things. Like, so if I want to like, if I want to go back to school and I'm like, hey, you know what, I really want to try engineering. There shouldn't be, everything goes back into the system. If I get a job as an engineer, I'm paying higher taxes or whatever it is. I'm contributing to society by engineering stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like this ecosystem that's clearly there, but somehow we want to tax it over the top to do God knows what. Now it would be different. We were like, well, you know, that money you pay into your student loan debt also goes into like your retirement or something, like a part of it or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Because when I used to work for a organization to help people get degrees, one of the things we were told was that if a person had a bachelor's degree, if it was over 10 years old, we could help them get a new degree.
If it was over 10 years old.
If it was over 10 years old. But this was during the Obama administration in 2009 when there was already, well, I think these rules were already in place, but when he gave the influx of money for people to go back to school and things like that to get retooled, that was one of the considerations we put into place. If your degree was over 10 years old, you would qualify to go back to school and get the help from us anyway.
Did they pay for the entire degree or was it a certain dollar amount?
It depends on where you were at in the degree. You had to be able to graduate within 2 years. So you could be working on you couldn't do a master's, but if you're working on a bachelor's, as long as you were able to graduate within 2 years, you could get up to $19,000.
Oh, okay. So they will help out.
Yeah,
that's
that's significant. Like 2 years of like YSU at the time would have you'd have had a little over, you know what I mean? They wouldn't even have to put that much. But anything. So it was like from being a trucker to, you know, potentially being a nurse, you know, they was helping. And I think if you had a program like that nationwide, it would definitely help change the landscape of people who are successful in school. Because I see so many people who are like a year away from graduating who ran out of money, which makes no sense to me. Like
it happens.
It happens, and they're what I'm saying is they're in good standing. They just ran out of money, and so like my thoughts would be like the university should seek those people out and give them the scholarships to finish because they need people to actually pass. You know what I mean, to graduate. Because one of the big things you're getting hit with is you got people signed up for money and and the graduation rates are low. But I don't want to be an egghead on that.
No, I think that's a good thing to do. Now, what about for that particular place? Tell me this, what about associate's degree? Because there's a lot of...
Oh, that was accounting. Anything you could get in 2 years.
Okay.
I work with people who were going to be physical therapy assistants, respiratory, occupational, and, you know, a whole bunch of like different things where I would help them work through setting up their financial plan to graduate within that time and ensuring that the credits were on track for, you know, and all that other stuff. So we help them really, and then if it was someone who was just interested in getting involved in something, we help them through that whole process. So it kind of like it was basically like I was a college advisor without the title. You know, they called it career consultant.
Without being the specialist.
Yeah, I was a career consultant. You know what I mean? It was
okay. All right, let's thanks for that information because we're getting ready to wrap the show up. But let's talk about this last topic. Should straight actors still play gay characters? And then they put, it's complicated. There's a lot of gay actors and actresses that feel as though that they could play the role and be authentic. They say they can bring the authenticity to the, you know, the authenticity of the part to life. So what's your
That's
thoughts
why
on
they're
that? Because
called
that's what's happening
actors.
right now in the LGBTQ community.
Right, but that's why they're called actors. It doesn't matter what your lifestyle is, whether you're straight, gay, lesbian, or whatever. If you can act, that's who's supposed to get the part. The best, because you know the part may play, you know, call for a gay person, and a gay person goes and you know goes up and auditions for that, and they suck. And a straight person come and audition for it, and they're good. They're going to get the part. It's
No
about
pun intended.
skills.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no pun intended. But it's about your skills. It's not about your sexuality.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
that's why they're called actors.
I think there's a couple different things at play. I think one thing is Hollywood's going to look at it as to who's going to buy a ticket and tune in. Like I think the thing is you'll have people of whatever walks of life be able to get a job if they believe people will pay money to see them. That's the one thing.
Right.
The other thing I think is that, like, when we talk about representation, you know, I think the issue is that are people getting a fair shot at these roles? You know, because like one thing people get upset about now, they feel like they're just trying to force diversity into everything. You hear this a lot, right? Like people were like, and this was a thing, like when John Boyega was in Star Wars, he wasn't even playing like he wasn't even a revamp of a character. He was a new character. You know what I mean? And they gave him all kinds of heat because he was black. You know, you get kind of that stuff even with Michael B. Jordan was Johnny Storm. He was a character that was traditionally white that, you know, he played as a, you know, he's African American, you know. So, I mean, I think the thing is that, you know, people want equity and they want opportunities. So how do we make that happen?
Sharpen up your skills.
Well,
you heard of Roogle? What's happening in the movie world?
Yeah. What happened in the movie world is that Wonder Woman 1984 was delivered as a Christmas gift on HBO Max, which I have, and I did watch, and I was like, man, what is this?
Oh, I thought we was gonna be, oh.
I personally, like, I know people was giving it, like, they were in the beginning, it felt kind of like Richard Donner's Superman, if you remember I was gonna say Steve Rogers. If you remember the Christopher Reeves Superman, it kind of had that feeling that in the beginning, kind of campy or whatever, which wasn't bad. The problem was the overall, like, they first of all, they misused Cheetah like a mug. You only get like 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of Cheetah. I mean, even though Kirsten Wiig is in the whole thing, you don't get that whole, like, her motivation's unclear, especially when you think about the canon focus on Cheetah, you know. So it was this kind of just I didn't know what it was trying to be, and like the biggest question, and the thing was, I tried to watch, I attempted to watch it 5 times. 5 times. Like the first time it was late. It was Christmas night, and it was late, and I fell asleep. So that was legitimate, wasn't their fault. The next day, I watched it, and right when the third act was happening, I fell asleep again, and that's when the action was. First of all, it's too long. It's 2.5 hours long, and they may have made it that long because guess what? We're releasing it anyway, throwing all the footage, whatever, boom, you know. But it was these scenes with Wonder Woman on that lasso in the sky. I was telling my son, I was like, it seemed like they kept that scene going for like 5 minutes, and it didn't even make any sense to me because they was trying to make it like it was this Superman moment of her like learning to fly or something that was like kind of dumb to me, because the big thing that everybody sees in the movie or from the trailer is her in that big ass gold suit with the wings on it, right?
Okay.
Why you giving me 5 minutes seeing her lassoing through the sky just to get to the damn suit to fly over there? It was like, why? I was like, it didn't make any sense to me. some of the stuff was like, it was in 1984, which the only thing they try to make a reference to 1984 is just the clothing that you seen on the trailer
So you wouldn't recommend it?
I would say like this: if you got HBO Max, watch it. Go ahead and check it out, because you getting it for the price of your subscription. But
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I know
you're saying Wonder Mail.
But
Yes.
But what I would say is this: if the COVID might have been a good thing for this movie. Granted, it has made a record high in the box office because we
had to stay at home.
Well, it made $16 million and like almost $17 million in the box.
And they hyped it up so much beforehand, so yeah.
Because I like the other Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but the other Wonder Woman is a better movie. Period.
And how long was that? That was a long movie.
It was a long movie, but it had a story to tell. This one
didn't put you to sleep.
Like somebody said, I can't believe they made a Wonder Woman movie where she's over here upset about a guy who died 70 years ago. She's still hung up on that. You know what I mean? From the first one to now, you know, they was like, it made like this is supposed to be an empowering, strong woman figure. I mean, you know, you miss people and things like that, but 70 years you hung up like that, like they had her
stuck. She's still stuck.
And they had her like dudes be trying to hit her, and she go, oh no, I have no time for that. Like it was just like she just got like her husband just died yesterday or whatever.
Oh,
like
yes.
it was really weird, the dynamic of it. And it seemed to be even more weird because there's a woman writer and director involved in it, and it was like, well, you know, this is the thing. And then when you think about
maybe that's her story.
Well, I don't know, but when you think about that relationship, like it brought nothing. Like to me, don't get me wrong, Chris Pine was extremely charming in the role. He always does a great job, but I really didn't see what the need was for that to even be a part of the dynamic, except for that even the best of us can be swayed by things that happen, right?
Wonder Woman is supposed to be strong. I'm not happy about that. I'm not watching it.
The whole thing was about this one guy. Well, they made it so convoluted and ridiculous.
Okay, is there anything else in the movie world happening besides Wonder Woman? Because clearly you don't recommend that one, the new one.
Fired up. I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. But I mean, like, I give it a C minus.
Wow, a C minus. Okay.
It's about 61%. It's 61% on Rotten Tomatoes now. Now, what I did see was a nice little delight that Disney Plus put out on on Christmas as well, and it was Soul. So
I heard that was very good.
Yeah, it's very good.
I heard it was scary.
Soul?
Nah, I'll tell you like this. It was sad. It's sad in ways that aren't really projected in a sense. It's about a guy who he's been a starving artist and all that thing for some time. So he started to teach to kind of like balance out and stuff like that. And he's older. I would say the character is probably in his 50s or so like that, because they show his mother and she's clearly older than him. But he's been kind of isolated because he's been going after music so hard. And Jamie Foxx plays him, okay. which I had to grow into him being a voice actor or whatever. But I mean, it worked okay. But the thing is, I don't know if I can spoil it. It is on Disney Plus. But the issue is that Pixar always takes hard issues and be like, you know what? We just ain't gonna give you that happy ending. There's consequences. You know what I mean? And there was there was an issue here where, I mean, I don't know if I can say it or not. Is it okay?
I guess it's okay.
He died.
Oh, okay. I'm like, as long as ain't no curse word.
He died for real.
I mean, that was the whole point of the movie.
Oh, he died for real? In real life?
He died like twice. So the point.
He died twice, like he died on the movie and died in real life. Jesus.
You know what I mean? I mean, no,
he didn't die in real life.
He died 2 times in the movie.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, thank you for clearing that up, Nyk.
But
The voice.
But the but the thing was, it was just like, you know, I because a lot of it, I was like, oh, this is by the numbers. I was calling this out, calling that out, and I said, I guess what? At the end, I was like, he gonna end up hooking up with that one teacher, and then the little whatchamacallit's gonna
This
come back.
This a Disney movie or is it a Disney adult station? Like, I'm confused.
It's a Pixar animated movie.
Oh, okay then. Hey, listen, Demi Lovato agrees with you, Roogle. Demi Lovato reveals how she wanted Wonder Woman 1984 to end.
She just wanted to end.
To end, just bye.
Just be over. Yeah.
She thought it could have been a little different. So you're not alone.
Yeah.
So, all right, look, go ahead. What you got?
No. That's it. I think I had some movie news, but it's nothing.
You still didn't watch Ma Rainey's Black Bottom? I keep hearing that was good, and that Chadwick really.
Yeah.
He went out with
that. A lot of people was actually watching it because of Chadwick.
Yeah.
All right, listen. We winding down and we coming through. Look, coming through and coming to an end. I want to give you today's footnote. Today's footnote is the golden rule, especially for the new year. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We have to remember this. We are not everyone and everyone is not us. Meaning, I want you to live by the golden rule. So when you make decisions, live by the golden rule. Don't get upset when people don't respond the way that you think that they should respond, because we are not the same. We are not the same. And don't stop living by the golden rule because you don't like the way that somebody else respond. It's not okay. So that is today's footnote. Pretty much accept people for who they are or not. You don't have to deal with them because we have choices. This is a new day. All positive vibes. Please, lovely people, all positive vibes. Don't focus on past disappointments. If you don't know how to not focus on past disappointments, one thing you want to do is acknowledge the pain, calm yourself down, distract yourself, and realize, what was my expectations? Are those my expectations for other people, or are they my expectations for me? So your expectations for you is to, this is my opinion and my suggestion, is to accept people for who they are. We all have a choice, and it's totally up to you if you want to deal with that individual or not. Lovely people, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you, as I do each and every single Saturday. Happy New Year to you, lovely people. What's new? Keep me posted on what's new. The Shop Talk question of the week, I had tons of them, but we were off on vacation, so we will address those this upcoming Saturday. Nyk with the voice, you got any last words?
My last words for the new year: forget a resolution, just stay prayed, keep prayed up. That's it. That's all.
Okay, Roogle. Last word. What you laughing at?
Because well, it was
counting. Go ahead, yours could be different from hers.
Oh, okay.
I know it's gonna be something crazy.
I'm just saying. I think the thing we need now in 2021 is discipline.
Okay.
Become more disciplined. I think we already had a whole year to build us up to discipline. Like, hey, you're gonna be disciplined wearing that mask, or you're gonna fall out somewhere. So continue that discipline in the areas that bring growth and prosperity into your life. All
right. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people.
Shut up, Todd.
Hey, we're gonna get it right. I'm telling you, we definitely gonna get it right one day.